As a beginner guitarist, what overwhelms you the most? I hear that so much. I'm overwhelmed. In the description below, there's a link. Book a 30-minute call. We'll talk about it. I'll walk you through it. I'll cheerlead for you, okay? In this lesson, though, we're going to talk about strumming and how it relates to your chords. One of the biggest overwhelms is, okay, so you've learned some chords, you've seen the diagrams, and you're supposed to hit all these strings for this chord. But Brandon, I'm having trouble switching. You don't always have to strum all the notes. Think of it as this is your canvas, okay? And this is your paintbrush, and there's certain colors to use at certain times. Not every song, it would be so boring. I don't like strumming like that. You know, unless it's like 3 a.m., I guess, from Matchbox 20. You want most of that to ring out. But in that REM song, you know, they're not, it doesn't work, man. I'm going to teach you to be selective with what you strum in a chord. It's all song specific, but I make a G sometimes with just that note right there. If I'm switching fast, versus, I mean, does it sound better? I mean, it's fuller, but I mean, somebody going to listen to a song I wrote and go, you know, if he'd have just played that full G chord, that would have been so much better. No. Okay? I'm gonna help take some of the overwhelm off of you when it comes to playing chords and strumming all the strings at once, okay? You don't have to do it. I'm going to show you from your point of view. Guys, I'm not advocating for not learning your chords at the beginning and which notes to strum, which not to. I'm not saying that at all. You should, okay? I'm a big believer in knowing the rules before you break them, okay? But I don't want you putting the guitar down because, you know what? It says I have to strum all strings in this E major. And then I have to go to this A major. And I'm trying to keep that first string from muting. And that's 5 strings on that. And I just can't. I can't do it. And then you put the guitar down. That's what I'm trying to prevent. I did a lesson on... For what it's worth, Buffalo Springfield, okay? 3 chords in the main song, but in the verses, it's 2 chords, E major to A major. I realized that depending on where you are in your journey, that A major is kind of a booger. The 1-finger A major is the way I taught it. And you strum 5th string down, and you have to make those notes with 1 finger. Or you don't have to. I guess you could do 3 fingers. I don't like that. And then you have to let that first one ring out. Well, so you kind of have to do this bendy thing, you know, to get that to happen. So I realized that some people watching that video may not be able to make that. Even while that's an easy song, if you've never made that chord before, it's not easy. So in the lesson, you know, I told you, like, if you can't get them all to ring out, that's fine. Just mainly get those bass notes of that song. There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. I mean, that's very rock and roll. That's the power chord version of that chord, right? Instead of, now does Buffalo Springfield play the whole thing? Yeah, they do. But don't put the guitar down because you can't do that. You know, work towards that, have that as a mission, but play the song in the meantime with what you can do. And if it's just those bass notes, then you'll get it, right? I had a video where I talked about the right way to make chords, and we were talking about G's specifically. I started making G's like this so it would free me up back here, right? You can't do that if you make it like that. You have no fingers left, right? And there's a ton of songs that do stuff like this. Tequila Sunrise, the Eagles. Suspicious Minds. Okay. But I kind of went from making my G like that, which is pretty much this one, with different fingerings. And then I just kind of stopped with that middle finger. Maybe it was laziness. I don't know, but it didn't really matter. So I ended up only fretting my low G and my high G, and there's a lot of open notes in there anyway. Sounds great, especially coming from like an A minor. And sometimes I forego the pinky. You know, if you can get a bass note out of that chord and then one of the treble notes, and if it has a lot of open, well, that works. Is that fuller? Yeah, sounds great. Love that chord. But depending on what I'm doing, I may not want to play that. I may want to just play that and get on with it, you know? So guys, don't stress yourself out by trying to play every note in every chord every time. Think of this as your canvas. And the notes are colors. And yes, there's some colors you should use in this painting, but you can pick and choose. And it's no less a pretty painting. In fact, it gives it nuance. If everything was played with every note strummed in every chord, every time it went to that chord, everything would sound the same. It's boring, you know? So guys, I hope this is motivation, and just kind of experiment, you know? Like, look at you see a chord diagram for that, and okay, I know I'm supposed to hit 5 strings, 5th string down. What if you don't, you know? Look at there, I'm not even playing the bass note on that one because you have a high C here. That's a C. Okay, well, if I screw up on a strum and I'm only strumming the low part of that, is it Katie bar the door, stop the song? No, you know? Anyway, guys, just don't freak out. Don't overwhelm by chord charts and all the notes you're supposed to play. Play around with it, one chord at a time, and just see what works. And as your ear develops, you'll start to hear that, you know, okay, 3 a.m., max plus 20, they're using every note in that chord. They're letting them all ring out, you know? But REM, you know, they're not going. That wouldn't sound good. It's kind of that power chord version of that D. Okay? So guys, keep playing. Don't put it down. Don't be overwhelmed. And just experiment and use this as your canvas. And we'll see you in the next lesson.